There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of a Nephilim.
The Genesis 6 narrative states that the Nephilim are on the earth in those days and also afterwards. If that's true, can we find evidence that corroborates this? I'm L.A. Marzulli. Join me as we go on the trail of a Nephilim.
Our lead story today, this is from Brad Lepper, and not disparaging him in any way. I'm just quoting from this article that he wrote, and we'll get into that. But first, a word from our sponsor. Did you know that the aging process starts as early as the age of 25? After that, you start to lose about 1% of your collagen supply every year. Folks, try this at-home test. I have, to see if you've got enough collagen. Pinch your skin. If it immediately bounces back, then you have enough collagen in your skin. If it doesn't bounce back or fold back immediately, then you might need a collagen supplement. Multi-collagen helps rejuvenate your body from the inside out with 5 supercharged types of collagen your body needs for optimal health. Give it a try. Your health is your wealth after all. Taste, inspect, and judge risk-free for yourself. If it doesn't live up to your expectations, this is an incredible deal, ladies and gentlemen. You have a full 60 days to get a complete refund, no questions asked. Plus, you'll get 51% off, along with several free bonuses included at no extra cost. Go to the link below, healthwithla.com, healthwithla.com. Folks, I take it every day. Descendants of builders of the Newark Earthworks are still here. Now, that's the title of the article. Mr. Lepper is free to publish whatever he wants to believe in. That's fine. We're not disparaging him in any way, or his character, or him as an individual, or a person, or a man, or an archaeologist. We're just saying that we disagree with Mr. Lepper's conclusions, and we will get into that in just a second. So this is from the article, and Mr. Lepper is certainly welcome to come on this show and talk about it in a gentlemanly way, in a friendly manner. We're not here to castigate anyone. I don't believe in doing that. But he's welcome to come on this platform and defend his position. In the meantime, this is from the article. So he talks about leading tours to the Circle Mound, the Octagon. I've been doing it for 30 years, and I understand that. He's a resident of the area. I'm not. But I've been there numerous times, and I've also lectured on the Great Circle Mountain. But let's move on. After the formal tour of the Great Circle had ended, I was standing in the center of the vast circular enclosure, talking with a small group of folks. Gradually, people wandered away from the group until there were just 3 of us: Eastern Shawnee tribal elder Brett Barnes and his wife Rhonda, and me. Brett was in considerable discomfort due to a back injury and was using an electric scooter to get around. At one point, Rhonda drifted off and it was just Brett and me. Suddenly, Brett began to struggle to stand up, saying he felt the need to say something. At first, I thought he wanted to say something to me, so I stood there waiting, but his words were not directed to me. He gazed intently at the Eagle Mound in the center of the Great Circle and spoke quietly in the Shawnee language for a minute or two. I felt he must have been praying and was embarrassed that he had not given him more privacy. But he explained that it wasn't a prayer. He was speaking to the ancestors. I asked if he could share what he had said. He replied that he told them, quote, "We are still here," end of quote. In spite of misguided or malevolent efforts to rob American Indians of their heritage by attributing the grandeur of the North Earthworks to the lost tribes of Israel, a mythical race of giants or ancient aliens, Barnes' simple declaration affirms that indigenous American Indians conceived, designed, and built the Newark Earthworks, as well as other sites that comprise the Hopewell ceremonial earthworks, and their descendants are still here. Barnes' testimony is a powerful demonstration of the authenticity of the Newark Earthworks. He was overcome by the spirit and feeling of the Great Circle, and he wanted the ancestors to be reassured that in spite of everything, we are still here. That's an aerial view of the Great Circle Mound. It's about 1,250 feet in diameter. You can see it's incredibly built. There's a moat. We talk about this in our Mound Builders series, folks. If you haven't watched that, please consider going there and purchasing those films, lamarzulli.net. There's so much wealth of information. So let's walk through this. So you have one Shawnee elder, and I respect that. He's First Nation. I understand that. But this is my rebuttal to Lepper's article, and I wrote about it. I had to subscribe to the paper, whatever it's called, the Newark. Let me go back up to the top here. It doesn't, well, I don't have it, but it's a paper that's published in Newark, and I was able to sign on and view the comments. So here's my rebuttal to that. I would respectfully disagree with Mr. Lepper's assessment of the mound builders. With all due respect to Native Americans, they did not know geometry. And the Octagon Mound is a complex geometric site that encompasses around 50 acres. Two of the sides of the octagon are unequal, making this complex geometry. If First Nation peoples had knowledge of this, it would have been passed down in their oral tradition. It's not there. Adding to this is the 18.5-year metonic cycle. The Octagon Mound shows the knowledge of the lunar standstill. If First Nation peoples knew this, how did they come about it? Why isn't any of this in their oral tradition? Chief Wallace, who's a Shawnee chief, stated on the record years ago that the Shawnee did not build a serpent mound. She has since changed her opinion. So what is the truth? In my opinion, there is a hidden history that has been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. And that's where I stand. Let's go back to the Circle Mound and look at that. I've been there numerous times. You'll notice the gateway and the Octagon Mound. It was at one time connected to the Great Circle Mound. So Lepper is saying that, we're still here because of one tribal elder that claims this. Well, I get it. The Shawnee people are still here. But one of the comments stated that the Shawnee, in their oral tradition, stated 150 years ago, that when they came into the area, these mounds were already in place. So what's the truth? What's the truth? If the Shawnee or any other indigenous American tribe had this type of knowledge of geometry, where are the buffalo skins or deer hides which show, let's build a circle mound, let's build an octagon mound. Oh wait, let's have the octagon mound have two unequal sides. That's complex geometry. In order to draw an octagon, a person has to have a compass, a ruler, and no geometry because the sides have to be exact. Now that's an 8-sided octagon, but an octagon that is irregular has two sides which are not the same as the other 6. That's really complex to do. But yet it's done, and it encompasses 50 acres of land. How did the ancients check their geometry? How did they know about the 18.5-year metonic cycle? They didn't know about that. They knew about the longest and the shortest days, the solstices, but they did not know about the 18.5-year lunar cycle. Where are, Mr. Lepper, with all due respect, any artifacts at all that would show some sort of surveying techniques? Where is a buffalo skin or a sacred deer hide, which would show how they arrived at knowledge of the 18.5-year metonic cycle? Because it's thousands and thousands of stakes in the ground, if that's what you're going to do it. There's a British author called Tom, Thom, and he postulates that, well, they would just put stakes in the ground and figure this thing out. How do you crunch the data over an 18.5-year lunar cycle? How would you know that? How would you know where you came in the cycle? Are you in year 4, year 12, year 1? You don't know. You're just jumping in. You see the moon and you go, it's rising here and setting there. You put 2 stakes in the ground. You've heard me talk about this before, many of you. So something is going on. There is truly a hidden history. Again, I would welcome Brad Lepper to come on it and defend his position. There's nothing in the archaeological record that shows any type of surveying techniques, which is what you would have to build something like this. We also paid out of our own pocket to have, there's a moat that goes on the inner side of the circle here. And that moat is basically dead level. We had, what's his name? His name is a surveyor in Newark, but we had Willis We had Willis, Todd Willis come on. That's it. Memory's still working, folks. Todd Willis came and he measured that, and he's also in our film, and he talks about it. Basically, for all practical purposes, that mode is dead level. And I'll show this next Tuesday. I'm going to make a note here. It's always good to have notes. For the next On the Trail. On the Trail. And I'm going to take us to Avebury, and I'm going to do A and B of the circle in Avebury that I not only droned, but was there, and I've never released this footage. I'm going to show you the similarities between Avebury and this great circle mound in Ohio. Was it built by the same people? We don't know that, but I would posit that, yes, it was built by the same people, and they came over here. How do we know that? Because we've got artifacts like the ball stone found in America's Stonehenge, Tubal of the Canaanites in dedication. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? I would ask that you go. We've got a pre-sale that's going to be up today for our new film. It's number 4. It's The Coming UFO Invasion, Exposing the Dragon's Dark Secrets. As I've stated before, this may be the most important film I have ever created. It's in your face. We sit down with 4 people who have been abducted. Check it out. There's the cover. The UFO, The Coming UFO Invasion, Exposing the Dragon's Dark Secrets. The pre-sale will go up today. It's already in the works. The film is finished. We will be shipping in about 2 weeks. As soon as we get the DVDs, out it goes. We're also, and more about this later, you can get all 4 of them in a box set. There'll be sales. I'll be honest with you, folks. We need your support. We need your support. 1 or 2 sales a day is not going to cut it. You can also go to our streaming site, streaming.lamarzulli.net, and download any and all of these incredible videos. We are on the trail, and I'm proud of it. Thanks so much for watching On the Trail of the Nephilim. We will see you back here tomorrow with our weekly UFO update. Thanks so much for watching.
Something very dark and disturbing is happening. It is a global phenomenon that knows no boundaries and adheres to no cultural mores. And the ones who are engaged in this nefarious activity do so with impunity. People are being taken against their will. In the cover of darkness, in the dead of night, they are subjected to bizarre examinations that are often sexual in nature. These people are terrified, violated, confused, and with no place to turn to, as who would believe them? This is their story.